oh, I forgot that you don't grab your fire yet. So I say this is a level up I think you should do. When I say hold them, I mean do, you know, good old fashioned rave style liquid dancing, right? So like this kind of, you know, rub yourself with a, oh, it's fire. You know, that your version of that, obviously. It doesn't even have to be I just did. It could be some sort of like this style where you wrap it, right? You come up and then you do something like that before you go into whatever you're going into. Well, you should go to wilsonleather.com, and it's summertime, so they'll probably have a sale if you do it soon enough. Ideally, you would well, it doesn't matter, you have gauntlets. So as long as you do it the way I do it, then you should be safe, where you, if it's leather outside and you put the gauntlet over it, because then if you have thin slate on the inside, the gauntlet is covering it, and even if the fire can't slip underneath because you've protected yourself against that. Because thin slate has synthetics in it. I mean, you can get something that's like fur lined. I've gotten those as well, but you can't always find fur lined. It's much easier to find thin slate lined. You can probably buy driving gloves that are unlined, but they don't provide as much protection because they're not as thick, but they're less warm, so you don't overheat your hands as much. And they're also not as thick, so it's a balancing act. Over the years, I found that I preferred having something that was lined because it gave me just that little bit longer period of time. You do have to remember though, just because you're not burning your skin because the flame isn't against it, the metal's not against it, the heat is still getting in there. So you do need to cool it off. So you do need a break in between your wrap-ups. Once you have it in your hand, remembering up is better than down. I mean, that should be obvious, but you know, I feel the need to say it. Well, in the moment you'll remember, but I don't want you to get freaked out the first time you try it, you know? So I would start, I would say it's a skill, and I would start with just the basic these. But also, you know, you could do, like, this is a great place where this, that guy, I mean, that goes into your hands, and you could do a plain shift on that one. The thread the spiral is a really nice entry into it with an exit. Now that's not that big a deal because on the thread the spiral, you can have it come over the top of the gauntlet, but you need to have enough accuracy and control for it to not nip your fingertips. And I think you have metal on your rig at the head, so you want to make sure that the metal doesn't fall over onto the naked part of your fingers. I'm saying go for it. So, I mean, you can always back out if you don't want it, but once you do it, the performance value is so high. Make sure you don't do it too early in your set so you don't get a transfer. That actually happened to me one time. And it was a really bad transfer, such that there was so much, it was not a transfer, it was worse than a transfer. At the very beginning of our performance, for one of the pieces that we choreographed, initially, we choreographed it so that we were holding our poi like this. And during the first rehearsal where we tried it on fire, for whatever reason there was a delay, but we're all standing there with the thing on our hand. So what happens is the capillary action and the absorption, or whatever it is, the wicking had the fuel move from the diffuse from the wick into the glove. And so when we lit it, our gloves were all on fire. So this is a cautionary tale I hope you learn from. I was really glad we practiced it in rehearsal before trying it on stage, for example. This is one of the reasons we have dress rehearsals. So we can work out little kinks like this, which is not a little kink, because, you know, you're standing there and then you're trying to put it out on itself, but yeah. When that happens, by the way, go get your duvetine and roll your duvetine around your hand so that you smother the gloves. If you can't get them off. But it's also, maybe you might be able to get the first one off, but you might not be able to get the second one off easily because your hand is naked and it's, got accelerant on it. So I think the duvetine is actually a safer bet. In the unlikely event that you have something like that happen, wait, please don't. Also, that was with much thinner gloves, which is why I like the thicker gloves. Size matters. So there is a learning curve with learning how to control the poi and the fine motor skills that you have once you start putting gloves on. So you want a tighter fitting glove if you can have it, but the thickness will make a difference. And it will also make a difference for something like a wrap, because you may have a 1/4 inch difference, which is going to be different in terms of how it lands on your hand. Yeah, so practice. You really want to practice with the gloves not on fire first, then on fire. Because even if you think it's going to go okay, it might not.